It usually happens in the quiet moments between the events of your day. You are sitting on your sofa. Perhaps the house is finally silent, and you reach for your phone. You open a window into the lives of others. Suddenly, you are flooded with images of high-contrast triumphs. You see vacations in places you cannot pronounce. You see career milestones, engagement rings, and perfectly curated mornings that look nothing like your own. In the glow of that screen, the room around you begins to feel smaller. Your own day, which just moments ago felt manageable and perhaps even pleasant, suddenly seems gray. It feels flat. A heavy question settles in your chest, heavy and cold. Is this it? Is my life enough? Or am I wasting my time on this earth while everyone else is living a masterpiece? You are not alone in this feeling. It is a modern haunting, a specific kind of anxiety that targets the quiet stability of a normal life. We live in an era that has weaponized the concept of the extraordinary. From a very young age, we are fed a steady diet of the main character narrative. We are told that we are destined for greatness, that we must leave a legacy, and that our lives should follow a cinematic arc of rising action and climax. We are taught to fear the average. To be ordinary is framed as a failure of imagination or a lack of effort. This creates what we might call the spectacularity trap. It is the belief that for a moment to matter, it must be seen by thousands. It is the belief that for a life to be valid, it must be loud, impactful, and constantly accelerating. But this mindset comes with a hidden cost. When we are constantly scanning the horizon for the next great peak, we lose the ability to stand on the solid ground beneath our feet. We become tourists in our own lives, always looking for the best angle, never fully inhabiting the experience itself. Let us pause and look at this anxiety through a different lens. Consider the history of our species. For thousands of years, the primary goal of your ancestors was not to be famous or to change the world. Their goal was safety. Their goal was continuity. They dreamed of a life where food was certain, where the roof held against the rain, and where their children could sleep through the night without fear. The boredom you sometimes feel on a Tuesday evening is not a sign that you are failing. It is a sign that you are safe. That restlessness is actually a luxury, purchased by the survival of generations before you. Your nervous system is not flooded with cortisol from a predator or a famine. It is quiet. And in that quiet, the modern mind invents a new danger. It invents the danger of irrelevance. But what if we decided that this safety is not a void to be filled, but a landscape to be explored? This pressure to be exceptional manifests in subtle ways that erode our daily peace. You might find yourself unable to enjoy a hobby simply for the joy of doing it. Instead, you wonder if you should monetize it or share it online. You might find it hard to sit and drink a cup of coffee without feeling like you should be multitasking or learning something new. We have internalized a capitalist urgency that says every minute must be productive, and every experience must be content. But there is a profound, quiet beauty in the ordinary that the spectacular cannot touch. The spectacular is often a performance. The ordinary is where intimacy lives. Think about the texture of your actual life. It is not made of award ceremonies or viral moments. It is made of the way the light hits the kitchen table in the morning. It is made of the specific weight of your favorite blanket. It is the sound of a loved one laughing in the other room. These are the micro-textures of reality. When we devalue them because they are not quote-unquote epic, we starve ourselves of the only real nourishment available to us. We often tell ourselves that settling for a simple life means we are lazy or that we have given up. This is a myth. It takes a tremendous amount of courage to opt out of the race. It takes strength to look at a culture obsessed with more and quietly decide that you have enough. It is an active choice to protect your peace against the noise of comparison. It is not resignation. It is a declaration of independence. How do we begin to reclaim the joy of the ordinary? We can start by shifting our attention from the macro to the micro. We can practice romanticizing the small, invisible moments that no one else sees. Try a small experiment with your attention tomorrow morning. When you prepare your first drink of the day, whether it is coffee or tea, Treat it like a significant event. Watch the water boil. Smell the beans or the leaves. Feel the warmth of the ceramic against your palm. Do not scroll through your phone while you drink it. Just be there with the heat and the taste. Allow yourself to believe, just for 5 minutes, that this sensory experience is the most important thing happening in the world right now. You can also use a simple journaling prompt to challenge the voice of inadequacy. In a quiet moment, ask yourself this: if no one outside of my home ever saw my life, what parts of it would I still love? What brings me joy even if it brings me no status? This question helps to separate your authentic desires from the performative ones. It helps you distinguish between what you actually enjoy and what you think you should enjoy to look successful. When you strip away the need for an audience, you might find that you actually love the slow morning walk more than the idea of a high-powered career. You might find that a conversation with a friend is more fulfilling than 1,000 likes from strangers. This is not about lowering your standards. It is about aligning your standards with your own nervous system and your own heart, rather than with a digital algorithm. The anxiety of the good enough life dissolves when we realize that good enough is actually a miracle. To have a body that breathes, a mind that can dream, and a safe place to rest is a statistical improbability in the grand scheme of the universe. We are stardust that has learned to make toast and hug our friends. That is already spectacular. As you move through the rest of your week, try to catch yourself when the comparison trap opens up. When you see someone else's highlight reel and feel that familiar pang of inadequacy, gently remind yourself of the truth. You are seeing their performance. You are living your reality. The two are not comparable. Reframe the word boring. Call it peace. Call it stability. Call it freedom. When you stop trying to be the main character in a movie for everyone else, you finally get to be the person living your own life. You get to inhabit the small, quiet corners of your day without apology. What if the point of life is not to be memorable to history, but to be present for the coffee? What if the ultimate success is simply arriving at the end of the day with a nervous system that feels safe and a heart that is open? How would it feel to wake up tomorrow and decide that you do not need to become anything more than who you already are?